Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jordan Cameron back with another weekly Tuesday live stream. Man, we're 2 weeks in a row. Hope everyone's doing good out there and surviving, right? The pullback before the unimaginable. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Obviously, we're going to start with the charts. We're going to start talking about everything. And, obviously, we're going to jump in the chat towards the end. But I hope everyone's doing good out there in the live. And everyone who's watching the stream afterwards, hope you guys are all having a fantastic day as well. But obviously, as we wait for everyone to kind of get in here, the big thing that we're looking for right now is, as we kind of go along, right now we got Bitcoin waddling, we got altcoins waddling, and right, we're getting the retest. As we talked about in the last stream, right, we still got total market cap sitting right above that December 2024 high. And if we look at Bitcoin, we obviously have Bitcoin coming back down and also retesting the December 2024 high. So we got major retests on Bitcoin. We got major retests on total market cap. And obviously, if you look over here for total 3, also retesting the W formation highs on total 3 for the altcoins, total market cap, Bitcoin, no matter what you're looking at, we got major retests across the board. And in my personal opinion, and everyone's going to have a different opinion, and that's okay. That's what makes this market, that's what makes this market shine, obviously, is everyone having a different opinion. But for right now, I think we're just getting the pullback, right, or the retest, as I like to say it, before we see the unimaginable, okay? And it really just stems from all the charts being at such critical positions, just as we talked about with Bitcoin here, right above the 2024 highs, total market cap right above the 2024 highs, total 3 right above the March or May highs, right? The double bottom highs. So everything's kind of looking good, right? And as we kind of go along here, right, on this beautiful Tuesday, this beautiful live stream Tuesday, as we take a break from the videos, as we kind of go along here, actually, I'm going to put on the alerts so I can see what you guys are saying in the chat. Welcome everyone to the chat. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday as we kind of go along here. Hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday. As we kind of go along here, right? Why we, once again, we're not getting caught up in the news, right? Right now, everyone's talking about stagflation, just like everyone talked about tariffs here, and everyone talked about, who's blowing me up right now? Stop blowing me up. I'm on a live stream, man. As everyone's talking about, inflation ramping up here, and everyone's talking about stagflation, just as we continue to climb the wall of worry and these weekly pullbacks, there's always something to worry about. But, Felipe, thanks for coming a member, man. Once again, I know you guys are saying stuff in the chat. I'm going to jump in the chat after we get through the charts. Of course, Felipe, thanks for coming a member, man. But, as we kind of go along here, right, and we ignore the news that comes out and we stick to the charts, right? The charts to me, and this is just my main base case chart and the chart that I'm really just focusing my whole thesis off of, which obviously you guys know you haven't followed the stream or the videos for a while. We're looking for Bitcoin to have the biggest blow off top not Bitcoin, crypto to have the biggest blow off top in history. Followed by the biggest crash in history. That basically all stems over here from our stablecoin dominance chart, right? And, as we kind of go along here and, once again, right now we're in this little lull period where people are going to give up again, right? Before we make another higher low and push higher. And that's kind of what it's been for since March and April, since the tariff lows, just making higher lows, making everyone bored again, and then going higher, right? Just constant repeat, as you look over here, right? But, as we kind of go along here, once again, I continue to say, in my personal opinion, and obviously we have invalidations, but in my personal opinion, that the crypto market is not topped until we see stablecoin dominance hit that 4.91% level. That is when I will be convinced that the market is very, very close to being topped, okay, if not topped. But once again, we're just in a range, right? From 2023, we hit range lows. We come up to range highs, we come up to range lows, we come up to range highs. Yo, Goku. Thank you, man. We'll look at that in a second, bro. But no, really, just looking for this to come to range lows. So until we get the range lows, my expectation that was we're going to continue to see the market go higher. and not really fret in the day-to-day, right? Just kind of ignore the day-to-day and just live my life and let the chart play out, right? Let us go from resistance back down to support, right? So this is still the base case, but ultimately, as we know, this is ultimately going to lead to a bearish kind of tone. The further we go here in Q4 and the further the chart goes down, right? It's going to lead to a more bearish tone as we go along. But for right now, everything remains the same. We're still looking for total market cap to continue to push higher, continue to have people worried, and right, really just kind of, make people more euphoric before ultimately we get the big rug pulled down, right? Which we'll talk about in a few months, right? I don't think we have to talk about that now. We're not anywhere close to 4.91% in Bitcoin or on stablecoin dominance yet. If you look at the chart, we're about 60% there. Okay, not there yet. That's sort of the base case, and right, obviously, if we're looking at stablecoin dominance hitting the lows, okay. For me, it's going to be the altcoin market that's going to outperform here, right? I do think Bitcoin's going to go higher. I actually do. But I think it's going to be the altcoin market that has the most fun because as we've talked about in the past, right, as we head to Q4 of the post-election year, right, we've seen altcoin I don't even want to say altcoin season. So far, this is not an altcoin season, guys. Right now, what we're seeing is Ethereum season, but every single cycle, right, where we're looking at 2017 or 2021, and you guys can see we have started a little bit here in 2025, right? Every end of the cycle leads into Bitcoin dominance getting a massive downturn, right? Whether you're looking at here in 2017 for the last 6 months, whether you're looking at 2021 for the last 4 months, are we looking at the same thing here in 2025 where we're going to see Bitcoin dominance fall as stablecoin dominance falls, right? Which obviously leads to total market cap going up. And if dominance is going down and total market cap is going up, that means obviously we are expecting altcoins to go absolutely bananas. And that is sort of what I'm expecting over the next few months, okay? Over the next few months. And if you're missing the stream, right, why we're calling it the retest is simply because total market cap's retesting the 2024 high and Bitcoin is retesting the 2024 high. Okay, in case you missed the beginning of the stream, right? I kind of just started it right away. Welcome, everyone in the chat. Welcome, man. I told you we're gonna start the Tuesday live streams. We're gonna start it in Tuesdays. When this market really heats up, I'll probably go to two to three streams a week. Right now, right, we're gonna do Tuesday. All right, until this market really starts to heat up, which I don't think it's going to be very long now. I think this retest has happened, right? And I don't think it's going to be too long now until we start seeing this market start to shift upwards again. All right. But yeah, we're here on Tuesday, guys. We're here on Tuesday. It's a beautiful Tuesday. Tuesday can't be better, man. Hope you got after it today. And I think we got 3 to 4 months to lock in this market, man. All right, so, a couple more things we can look at, before we sort of, jump into crazy. Obviously, I do expect Bitcoin to shift higher, guys, but, Ethereum, I think is going to be the key here, okay? And, just like how it is with Bitcoin, right? We obviously have Bitcoin break into all-time highs first, right? We obviously had Bitcoin break into all-time highs late last year, okay? Which led to eventually, okay, seeing, right, obviously Ethereum bleed against Bitcoin, seeing ETH hit a new all-time high. But really, what I think is going to really start, really get this market going and really get this market cruising. And what I mean by market is, the rest of the coins, because let's face it, the last 4 months has really been Ethereum season. Yes, we've seen other coins go up, right? Chainlink's had a pretty good run. We've seen Crow had a pretty good run, right? XRP's made it back to the highs, right? But it's really been Ethereum season for the past 4 months. What I think is going to kick off the sort of everything else season, right? And this is typically how every cycle plays out. We see Bitcoin push up into new all-time highs. Then we see ETH push up into new all-time highs. And I think that's what's going to be the kicker here as we sort of go through the next 3 to 4 months is getting ETH into price discovery. And if you get ETH into price discovery, which I do think is going to happen within the next few weeks, as I take a sip of water here, man. That's really going to kick off, I think, the so-called everything else season, where then you're going to start seeing XRP break into new highs. You're going to see Chainlink really start to push near its all-time high. You're going to see all these coins really start to lift off, even though some of them have already started to lift off. That's when I think you're going to really start to see everything lift off. And that is going to be the kicker, because if we look at previous cycle, right, and we kind of mark off when we had Ethereum break through its previous all-time high, was right over here in February of 2021. And I like to remind you, in February of 2021, we go look at Bitcoin dominance right over here when Ethereum broke through all-time highs. Okay, this right here was February 2021. Okay, and obviously you guys see what happened after February 2021. ETH broke through all-time highs, which, like I said, could take a few weeks, right? It might not happen right away. ETH could take a few weeks to get through there, as it did right here, shuffled. But once you saw ETH break through all-time highs, man, it was a straight line down on dominance from about 62% to 40%. So my kind of expectation here is, as ETH kind of waddles right below its previous all-time high, which could take a few weeks, right? I don't think, it's necessary that it happens tomorrow, even though we all want that, right? But as ETH kind of fights with this previous all-time high and waddles around for possibly a few weeks, right? Maybe dominance kind of settles in here. But ultimately, once that breaks out, that's when I think you're going to see the real drop on dominance back down to the bottom of this sort of range, symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it over here on dominance, man. All right, so it's all kind of one play, right? And, as we kind of go along, as we kind of have the retests over here on Bitcoin, and we have the retests over here on total market cap, all eyes for me at this point of the cycle is on ETH, seeing that breakout, and then watching all these other coins, which already have started to move. If you bought during the tariff dips, I mean, you should be up 2, 3, 4x on a lot of these coins, like Link, like CRV, like Crow, right? All these coins up a significant amount from the tariff dip. But all eyes on ETH, and waiting for ETH to get that breakout above all-time highs to really kick off, like I said, like the everything season, okay? Which I don't think has started yet, okay? I don't think we're in alt season yet. I think we're in ETH season. And it's simple as that, right? Simple as that. So, man, that's kind of sums up everything today, guys. Like I said, it might not be the longest live stream. I'm going to hop into the chat for a little bit and, kind of talk and see what you guys want to talk about. But, maybe you guys can ask about, individual stuff, whatever. I'm not going to spend too much time on individual stuff, but that's sort of that. Before we jump into the chat, though, I see everyone in the chat. Welcome. Before we jump onto the chat, I do want to say, right, because everyone's going to sort of ask, well, Jordan, at what point will you say you're wrong? Okay, at what point will you say you don't think this biggest blow off top, or everyone will say crypto will change the world, all right, before we see the dot-com bubble 2.0? At what point do you think you're wrong? And there's always a point I'm going to think I'm wrong, guys. That's why I tell people to subscribe to my videos, guys, right? Be here for the journey for the biggest blow off top in crypto history, followed by the biggest rug pull. But if it doesn't happen, hey, you can come laugh at me in the comments section, right? But at what point am I wrong? And I've said this many, many times. Every cycle, what was the point to know that the cycle was over and to pack it up for a year, okay? It was a break of the 50 moving average bands on the weekly for Bitcoin, right? You break the 50 SMA and the 50 EMA in the bull, it's over. Pack it up for at least a year, okay? In 2014, in 2017, in 2022, any break of the 50 moving average bands, sayonara suckers, leave crypto for a while, okay? So at what point do we have now? And I think right now we've moved up for so long now. We have such a good invalidation point where either way we're gonna be make profits, even if Bitcoin breaks below this, which I don't believe it's going to do right now. Okay, it will at some point, but I don't think this is the week, or next week is the week, or whatever. The 50 moving average band right now, guys, we're sitting at 96K, right? 96K, which we were just at 106K, right? So for me, what's my invalidation to say I'm wrong? 110%. It's that a weekly close, okay, below the 50 moving average band, which is at 96,000 right now. Both of them are at 96,000. Easy enough, right? And as long as we're above that, we remain bulls. Weekly close below that, we bears. That's it. Simple as that, right? Just like right here, we were above, we remain bulls. We were above, we remain bulls. We were above, we remain bulls. Why I don't think it's necessary that we go all the way down there right now is simply because we just made a marginally higher high, right? I still think this move is higher before maybe we come back down and test it again later. But, it's always possible we come back down here again. I just don't think that's the most likely scenario. I think it's more likely that we hold these range highs on weekly closes, right? And we back test and we continue up, right? Same thing with total market cap. We back test these highs right here and we continue up. Could we come back down to the bottom of the wedge again? Which would be like Bitcoin going to 96K. Yeah, we can come back down to the bottom of the wedge again, which would be annoying. We've already been there once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. We can come down there again. But yeah, that's the invalidation for anyone that's wondering, right? We always have one, and it's as simple as that, man. We ain't going to overthink it. Anyways, let's jump onto the chat. Sorry for clapping. I get a little excited on Tuesdays, man. I love our Tuesday live streams. Now that they're back. But let's jump onto the chat. Let's see what everyone's saying. I think I did see Clint in the chat. As always, Clint coming in and being such a good fellow, right? Clint is such a good fellow, man. Isn't he such a good fellow? I got to figure out what he's doing, man. I got to message Clint. Anyways, we got 807 peeps in here. Welcome. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, man. We're getting so close to 100K. You guys are absolute studs. Let's see what everyone's saying in the chat here. Hold on, I gotta get to over here. There we go. All right, so we had Max K became a member. Shout out to Max K. Thank you, man. Felipe said, I'm tired of being pre-rich. By the way, shout out to Felipe, 20 member for 25 months, dude. That's some serious dedication, even during my absence. I'm tired of being pre-rich. I hope your thesis works, man. Go Chainlink, go. I hope it works too, man. Once again, nothing's guaranteed. It's just the way I'm looking at the market based on the charts, not based off feelings. At some point, it's going to kind of be the opposite, right? We're going to be looking at it, if we do get this sort of, late cycle blow off top like we always do, right? We're going to be looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, everyone's euphoric. Let's not look at it from emotions. And, everyone's going to be pissed, right? And it's going to be the opposite, right? So, right now I'm happy to be a bull. At some point I won't. But shout out to Felipe. Goku, September 12th, B-Day 2. How do you know my birthday is September 12th? I got to ask. How do you know my birthday is September 12th, man? I am sincerely, maybe from the past. Maybe from the past, Goku. When does alt season start? Alt season, I think, starts when ETH breaks into all-time highs. So not yet, in my personal opinion. I still think we still got some time till the real altcoin season. The real altcoin season has not started yet. Based on what everyone says. We have seen some nice moves, though. I will definitely say we've seen some nice moves from Crow, Chainlink, XRP. We've already seen some nice moves in the past few months, but I don't think the real altcoin season started yet. EI looks like FOMC rate cut breakout. Man, the FOMC rate cut, my thing is this, that we all kind of know that we're going to get a rate cut now. So is that going to be the surprise that gets everyone pumped? I feel like there's something missing right now. I do think there's going to be some type of news that comes out over the course of the next few weeks. I don't know what it will be. And maybe it doesn't have to be anything. My only thinking with the rate cut stuff is, and why I don't get too overly excited about the rate cut stuff, is that we all kind of know we're getting a rate cut at this point, right? So of us getting a rate cut, is that really going to get the market super excited? I don't know, man. I think there's going to be something else that comes out that gets the whole market excited, right? The stock market and crypto. I don't think it's just going to be like this crypto pump. I do think there's going to be something that gets, everyone pumped on stocks, crypto, kind of everything. I don't know what it will be. And I'm not going to try to guess the narrative. I'm just kind of looking at the charts, and the charts tell me there's going to be some type of cycle-ending news, kind of like 2021, that gets everyone super excited. I don't know what it will be. I ain't going to guess. John said crypto Twitter in the house, or CT in the house. I don't know if that means crypto Twitter or CT. I'm also not going to try to pretend like I know which one that is. Shout out to my guy John. Thank you, man. Cameron Vaughn, gold retrace will signal our moon. I've been looking at that too. If you look at gold, gold is pumping right now. My thing with gold, and I could be wrong. I could be very wrong on this. Look where the 4236 Fibonacci is on gold. All right. From our cycle from 2020 highs to the 2022 lows, look where the gold 4236 Fibonacci is. And if you guys know anything about gold, whenever gold goes up, crypto usually doesn't perform well. Whenever gold goes down, crypto does usually perform well, typically. Look where the 4236 Fibonacci is. So, like, dude, these next few weeks, or these next few days to weeks are going to be very important to see what happens with the market. But is it a coincidence that from the cycle high of 2020 to the cycle low of 2022, the 4236 Fibonacci, which we're looking for the crypto market to go to, is right where we hit today. Is right where we hit today. So my thinking is, obviously we got to watch it. I think this is going to be telling us what the crypto market's going to do. Gold rejects from the 4236 fib, right? Obviously that's going to be a big driver of getting this all going up, right? It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how that plays out. But obviously if this breaks up and kind of goes, well, maybe we got to postpone things for a little bit. But for right now, all eyes on gold. If you don't know the significance of the 4236 Fibonacci, look no further than Bitcoin, or look no further than total market cap. Okay, cycle highs, the cycle lows. 4236 Fibonacci top. Right? And there it is on gold. So, yeah, gonna be interesting. Need the Russell to break out first. The Russell. Who's Russell? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know, like the Russell correlation. But it's there, right? Russell is right there too. So it's kind of like you got the Russell ready to right at resistance. Will it break out now? I don't know. But you got the Russell right at resistance. You got gold at the 4236 fib. While you got ETH, right, the biggest altcoin, also right at resistance. It's just kind of funny how that all kind of plays out like that. I don't know. We'll see. All right, all this stuff plays into, right, really just for me, I'm looking at the stablecoin dominance chart, and the stablecoin dominance chart, I believe, has to go lower, which means, I think the crypto market's got to go higher. Is it a coincidence that gold is at the 4236? When I expect that, I don't think that's a coincidence. But we'll see. We shall see. Let's wait a few days and see how this all plays out. You know what I mean? Shit. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Hoffs. Hoffs knows the 4236 gold. Holy shit. Let's see, where are we? Shout out to Cameron. Yeah, we do need the Russell to break out though. I mean, I'm not like an avid follower of the Russell, but there's Clint. There he is, man. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my guy, Clinty. Let's freaking go, man. We need, you know what we need? We need a
rant alert.
Classic rant alert. Shout out to Clinty. The world famous Ohio State Buckeyes win another championship this year. Penn State sucks and won't even make the expanded playoffs. All I know is Penn State lost Tyler Warren. That ain't gonna help them. I don't know who wins this year. I definitely ain't picking Texas, that's for sure. I definitely ain't picking Texas. I don't watch college football too much anymore, to be honest. I basically just watch the pros. You guys almost reminded me, dude. I do have my fantasy football draft. Oh, man. I got one of my fantasy football drafts going on right now. I forgot about it. Thank you, Clint. It's probably already my pick, man. It's probably already my pick. I probably auto-drafted. Man. I think I did. That is some shit, man. That is some shit. That's crazy, man. Oh, I actually like my picks, though. Let's go, man. I may have to jump off this sooner than I expected. All right. Let's see. Who else is in here? We got EI said we slow creeped up. Could be the heart rate crash. I don't think so, man. We just kind of went over everything, dude. I mean, just look at everything. Gold at the 4236. Bitcoin retesting the December 2024 highs. Total market cap retesting the 2024 highs. Altcoins like I'm trying to get to the altcoin chart. Altcoins with the three lows, right? We've seen many of this with the individual altcoin charts with these three rising valleys, right? 1, 2, 3 on the altcoin chart. Oh man, you heard the sound. You heard the sound, you boys on the clock. Who we taking, man? Your boy is on the clock. Man, your boy is on the clock. We're going to take, man, are we going to go? Man, I think I want to go, I'm going to go quarterback. No, I'm going to go running back. No, we're going quarterback. We're going Daniels, man. All right. But no, we kind of looked at everything, right? And look at altcoins, man. I still think this has got that massive rally end of cycle run in it, right? And like I said, everything's correlated, right? Everything's correlated here. I think it's just a matter of patience. Still could take a little while, right? I don't think it's necessary that it happens tomorrow. But I think everything is sort of at that primed level. We've seen stablecoin dominance get the retrace up, just like this retrace up, and I think it's ready for that plunge over the next few weeks. Excuse me as I burp. Get a lot of top running backs. My other league, my team is dominant. I just auto-picked the first 2 picks in my big money league. I kind of forgot I had it going on. Joey said, Jordan, give me some alpha on Polkadot. I know it'll move with the market, but some TI, I don't know. Polkadot's just like, see, you have 2 buckets of altcoins. You got the strong altcoins, and then you got the altcoins that haven't done crap all cycle. I am a big believer in the ones that have already done something, right? Getting the strong performers, getting the ones that have shown accumulation. It's very obvious which ones have shown accumulation, right? And we've talked about those many, many times. And already, you guys can already see the last few months before we even had altcoin season. I don't even think altcoin season has started yet, guys. I've told you that. Before we talk, these are all the coins we talked about. And all these coins have made pretty significant moves already. XRP, which we talked about all throughout this consolidation period, already made a new all-time high, right? Chainlink, right? 3 rising valleys, has already risen from, $9, right? And it went up to 27. We've already seen a 3x from Chainlink on this rally, right? Crow, right? Look at the accumulation. Look at the higher lows, and then look at the move, right? So look at the Crow chart and look at the total 3 chart, right? I just don't think we've seen that total 3 move yet. Right, so there's two buckets of altcoins. You got the alts that have shown higher lows consistently, right? CRV, higher lows. And then you got these altcoins, right? DOT, which just have not, right? Lower lows. No signs of accumulation. And you guys can see, right? On this rally so far, from the March and April lows, DOT has gone nowhere. It's actually gone down. It's actually gone down. right? So like, yeah, will it move if we do see this altcoin expansion, which I do think is going to happen? Will these alts move up? Yeah, they will. I just don't know if they're going to move up with the same velocity of the ones that have shown accumulation, which is the higher lows throughout the cycle. Can DOT get a move up to like back up to 1178 or something? Yeah, I think so. Or even make a slightly higher high? Yeah, it could. I just like the coins that have shown higher lows. These coins are just not doing shit, and it's up to you. Like, are you going to be the one that buys the lows? I think this is actually a good spot. Like, if you're looking at this from a standpoint of, buying something at its lows, this would be a good risk reward, right? The downside's pretty limited based on, 5 years of data. The upside is pretty significant based on 5 years of data. Not a bad risk reward. Am I buying DOT? No. But you can. That's up to you. You know what I mean? Risk reward's not bad, though. I just don't know if it's going to be the best gainer. Yo, YJ, Cameron Vaughn, it's like the puppet masters are at work. Dude, they're playing with your emotions right now. Of course they're playing with your emotions, right? Of course they're playing with your emotions, Vaughn. YJT, yo, BitBoy came back. Now Jordan is back. No, we're definitely not the same guy, man. Definitely not the same guy. I didn't go anywhere, man. I've been making videos consistently for the past 4 months. I just wasn't live streaming for 4 months. I needed a little break. Oh, shit. It's your boy. But yeah, guys. I think I'm going to end it. I got my fantasy football draft going on, so I think I'm going to end it. And it was good to see you guys for our Tuesday live stream. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Much love. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And just patience, guys. Patience. See you guys later. I got to hop on to the live stream. All right. Hold on. It's my pick. I'll tell you guys who I pick before I leave. We're going Metcalf. All right. That's it. We're going Metcalf. Later, guys. Peace out.